Hey, welcome to Fear Porn Propaganda. I'm Wisecraft, and today I'm with Haplo. Welcome, Haplo.
Hola.
Why are we hearing that again? Oh, that's probably your own thing.
Oh yeah, it might be me.
Echo, echo, echo.
No, I'm not echoing. Just have a window open. But anyway. All right. Well, we have like a million different things that can be talked about. They usually end up talking about them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So many things going on. So many interesting things to try to figure out.
Can you mute your, I mean, it's like a delay.
There's a delay?
Yeah, it's delaying.
Uh-oh. That's no good. Here, hold on. There, is that better?
No, I could still hear. It's like a like almost seems like 30-second delay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go.
Now I hear myself again.
Man,
yeah.
How did that happen? There, is that better?
Is that you?
I don't know. I might be getting all screwy here. Let's see.
It's so strange.
Is there still a delay?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay. How am I hearing myself? You're not. You weren't even here, and I'm hearing myself. It's my. You know, it's probably mine. It's probably not even yours.
Oh,
I
really?
forgot I had one open.
Oh.
Okay, I got it. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Okay, I got it. It was me. That's why.
It was you.
It was me the whole time. Sorry about that. Anyway, hey, well, so anyway, starting over. Welcome to Fear Porn Propaganda. I'm Wisecraft, and today I'm with Haplo. Haplo, how are you doing?
I am awesome.
Awesome. So we're only popping on for a little bit, and we were talking like on the side, and we wanted to bring this live because it was kind of an interesting topic. Basically, it's about backmasking children, like babies, doing their baby talk, and it seems to formulate like words and such. So go ahead and tell me about it, man.
Well, I just touched on this in listening to some of the things. I guess people are starting to figure this out, that little children are saying things meaningful but backwards. And when recorded and then played backwards, it sounds like they're talking forwards. And there's been many different cases of this recorded. So, I don't know, it's very interesting, and then people applying it to other things with demonology, the occult, playing things backwards so they can figure out if some, I guess if people are figuring out, it's a good way to find out if somebody's telling the truth. Even authority figures, as I've read just a moment ago, have recorded people when they're talking to the police and then played it backwards and hear what they have to say backwards to see if there's anything that comes out that might give an indication that they're not being truthful. So I don't know if there's anything to this or not, but it's kind of an interesting thing.
Well, I don't know. I did hear that one that you played that it sounded like it said hello. That was quite creepy.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I think I need to do a little more research on it to really get it down. As I'm seeing here, people have got Obama speeches They're playing them backwards, and they're hearing stuff that sounds like he might be not so truthful. Go figure, a politician lying? No way.
Well, right, and all those things that are said on speeches are generally written for, so it
Yeah,
could be written in code in the first place.
exactly. So this might be something cool to play with later on, I guess. Check out. I'll start recording everything backwards and playing around with it just to be on the very weird side.
Yeah,
Uh,
because today we have, software that does that really easy.
exactly. Kind of fun. And I'm sitting here. I'm trying to find the one where it was a woman that's I guess you could call her a spiritualist, and she was doing kind of like channeling, and she was recording all of her channeling, and then she started playing them backwards and finding out that these things that she had trusted for years were not benevolent, but malevolent beings that had some, not so healthy things in store. And some of the things she was hearing just really scared her right out of even contacting or messing with it anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. Here's one. Here it is. It's on a radio. David Oates, I think is his name.
Huh.
Yeah. I guess it's like a radio interview with the guy. I can just pop the link over, I guess. If anybody wanted to check it out, then you could check it out too. Fun things to play with. Here we go. Pop it in. And
Okay.
there it is. I'm sure you got that.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Yeah, I don't know too much about it just yet. Just another curiosity. There's so many things that catch my attention. I guess I'm a little, schizoid about it. I will see something, then get on to something else, and then completely forget about something for months, and then think about it at some point, but not really know too much in depth about it. There's just so many interesting things besides just sitting around zoning out watching TV. So many cool things out there to be looking at. What were we were talking about CERN the last time. It kind of led us into some
So
strange
yeah,
areas.
actually something happened the day. Well, the day of. I found this out later on, obviously, but the day of the play is
Hmm.
when that plane went down with
Yeah.
that dude. So
Yep.
like put that together, and you can see the connection. I believe it was Under the Stars that was putting that together.
Yeah. Well, there's been people that I've been kind of like listening to different things or reading different things, and there's a couple different people that seemingly have some inside information. Maybe know somebody that works there. One guy knows somebody that works there and gets information from somebody inside CERN. And this individual that works within CERN says that it messes heavily with the magnetic field of the Earth, and it does some crazy stuff, and
Yeah,
it
like it
very
was like
well.
it's like 10 times the amount of the gravitational field of the Earth, right?
Yeah, yeah. So anything that gets caught in that, say, is maybe an airplane, could very well have been brought down by CERN being powered up or running. Yeah, it's hard to say. Now they're saying it was a depressed guy in his 20s that decided to commit suicide, taking a plane down.
Right, and he had mental illness.
Those are my pilots. Those are the first ones I like. I like having my police with mental illness.
Yeah, we gotta
You know,
have everybody having mental illness right now,
it's a
right?
great, yeah, it's a great scapegoat. So when the politician with the mental illness pushes the button, we could just say, well, he was mentally ill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And
it
this is
seems like there's some sort of push towards this mental illness perception. Like a lot of things are leading that direction to where you basically they're gonna probably have to do I mean, like implement some sort of law associated with mental illness.
You know, you know what the problem
Or
with that?
maybe they'll just like make us take pills or some shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
you're
lot
gonna,
of people on that. You know, if they can be able to say, if the state could come in and say you're mentally ill, they pretty much have absolute control over you. And in some instances and in some countries, the state can do that. The state can take absolute control if they can get a physician to go along with them and sign paperwork. Then you have just now become their slave, and they can do whatever the hell they want with you.
right.
So yeah, and there's a lot of people speculating about that one too. It's where does the tyranny end? You know, I get a lot of people ask the question: are we really living in free societies anymore? Or is it just a facade? Is it just something that we're being told, but in all reality, real reality, we're not free at all.
Right.
Something else larger is going on. We just are living in a prison for our minds. Hate to quote The Matrix too much. That's getting a little old, but it does apply.
Yeah.
I don't really watch too much TV. I don't watch mainstream TV. I don't watch cable TV and things like that. And when I started cutting out that's when I really started taking a look around outside.
Yeah,
Actually looking.
exactly. Because the TV keeps you, focused on it, and so you don't know really what's going on around you. So I did a thing on my other channel, my conspiracy channel with a K.
Uh-huh.
Um, just recently threw it out there. It's like notes, because I've been writing down, doing my notes on like flowcharts, on these flowcharts
Hmm.
called mind maps, and I wanted to just basically kind of get it all out, like in a kind of like this leads to that, like this is what that means, that kind of thing. Side note this, side note that, and I basically put it out, and it was on TV. It was notes on television, and how it kind of leads to MK Ultra programming and the whole like what that means and all the waves of your brains, and I went into all that stuff. Check it out if you get a chance.
Well, I'm thinking that when people run, let's see, I think it really just kind of puts you into an alpha state of mind, which kind of opens you into a
No,
more of a.
beta.
Is it beta from alpha?
Yeah, alpha is used more for like when you're actually in the trance
I see. I
process.
see.
Beta is like putting you in the trance.
I see. So, however,
Like for instance, when you go shopping, right?
hmm
You go to a place to buy something, you're in beta mode because you're thinking, I want to get this. This is my focus. This is what I'm going to get. Like say if you have a list, then you're completely in beta mode because you're going from one item to the other, and you're continuously like having a beeline for each item, right? You don't really care
yeah,
what's going on around you. You're just going for that item. That's beta mode.
yeah. Well, here it is: alpha waves, hypnosis, and advertisements. Another state which includes alpha waves is hypnosis.
Yeah,
Hypnosis,
see?
while it has come to be associated with people being put to sleep
So
and
that's
forced
the
to do various
hypnotized.
things, yeah, as act like a chicken, is actually a useful technique to control behavior. At its heart, hypnosis is a state of relaxation and focused attention. So, television and attention. Some researchers have argued that extended television viewing leads to decreased ability to sustain attention on other tasks. Eh,
Right,
there we
because you
go.
focus completely on the television instead
Yeah,
of
and whatever they're putting
going
into
on
you,
right. Like
you
I have to time myself out as far as watching TV and doing my art and getting on here and going to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
there's no time. Like even playing a video game. I can't play video games anymore. I used to be like a video gamer, you know?
me too.
And like I just have no time anymore. There's just when do I do it?
Yeah,
It's like
mine wasn't even time. Mine was more of interest. I lost absolute interest. There was no interest left in me to watch these TV shows, to play the video games. Once I started realizing the depth that
Well,
goes into with kind of like programming your
I
mind.
feel you, dude. I wish I could get to where you're at. My whole thing is I don't like watching TV anymore. Like I've woken up to that realization,
Hmm.
and I do see the subliminals, and I see the color imagery. I see the color schemes blending in with the subliminals. I see all these things, and but I don't let it affect me. Although in another sense, I'm not trying to watch it. It's like it's forced upon me in a sense of my
Yeah.
surroundings. The people I'm around go, "Hey, you need to watch this with me," that kind of deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've been in that. One of the things I noticed with for me is after a time of completely not watching any TV, uh, I would go back and then like in a situation that you're talking about, I might be over at somebody else's place or a roommate or something that's watching TV. I'll sit down and watch some of it, and I would start getting headaches. The flashing, the just like just
Yeah.
the flash rate, just it was too much. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't watch this. I'd start getting headaches. It would start hurting my head, and I don't know. It's maybe I just broke out of it. Just kind of forced my mind out of it, and I stay that way. If I will say if I do watch something, I cut every commercial out because it usually is the commercials are the worst, and it's just like constant flash, 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 and you see that in some of the science fiction shows and stuff, or whatever you want to call them, maybe real TV, who knows? But they put people in these chairs, strap them in, they have all this strange stuff flashing on the screen, with their eyes pried open, programming them. Which is actually, I think, a part of what you were mentioning before. The MK Ultra was something that was experimented with, doing that to people.
Right.
And yeah, and I don't know. It's just disgusting anymore to me. I'm not knocking anybody else that watches TV, but for me, it wears me down. So mostly, if I watch something, I will cut commercials completely out. I will not watch anything if it's got commercials. They just annoy me so much. The other day, somebody was trying to.
Oh yeah, commercials suck. They're just like that is programming. That is
Mhm.
like the epitome of it. I mean, it's like trying to say, hey, go buy this or whatever. But half of it's not even about that. Like sometimes I watch something and I'm like, what are you selling me? I don't even know what you're
Yeah,
selling me.
exactly. The
And
only
then they go
thing,
like soap, and I'm like, soap? That was not have anything to do with soap. And I'm like, what are you talking?
thank you. Like I saw a watch commercial. I was viewing. Somebody had like put it on YouTube, and they were breaking it down. I saw this watch commercial. This commercial for watches had literally nothing to do with watches. It was more like esoteric programming, man. Like it was very in depth, and this commercial literally had nothing to do with watches. It was something else, very deep. But somebody that's just sitting there zoning out at a TV, it's just being soaked right in to that window to your soul. Boom.
Have
And
you seen that one with Jeff Goldblum with the it's like apartments or something.com or something, but it's
mm-mm.
like trying to say, hey, it's in the future, and you can shape anything, and you can. It's very strange because the way that they do it, they have things flying by the screen and
Ugh.
going behind them, and there's shapes that are changing, and
Ugh.
it's very cryptic in a way, and it's like saying stuff to other people, but in the same sense, just like selling a advertising of
Yeah.
apartments thing.
There's something
It's
more to
very.
this.
It's like yeah. It's like seriously like there's a little too much you put into that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what the hell? Anymore, it runs through my mind if I see a commercial or hear even a radio advertisement, and all I hear is basically a voice in my head saying, "Buy our shit, buy our shit." And you know what? I'll make up my own mind what I want to buy. I don't need you to make my mind up for me. And maybe I don't know. Maybe that's the policy applied to my thinking. Just change my thinking around. I'd rather have control over my own buying, the things I'd like to spend my money on
Yeah,
instead
there's
of
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, instead of having somebody program it into my head that I need to run down and go do some crazy thing at the Verizon store or something, you know. Yeah, I just it just kind of disgusts me anymore. Even billboards. I guess I'm just anti-advertisement altogether. Yeah, you know, when I'd walk down, you know, I'd be in the Big Apple. There's advertisement everywhere. It's in your face 24/7. And I've been in other large cities, and it's the same way. You almost become numb to it. But then I would sit back and realize that I just kind of like a zombie went and did something because there was advertisement flashing about it everywhere. I went until I finally like walked into a Starbucks and got a coffee. And I don't even like coffee. You know, those are some of the questions I started asking myself years ago. You know, why am I doing this? You know, and I started, you know, really just putting some serious thought into it and realizing that, you know, I'm doing this because somebody else is telling me to do it. I'm not doing it because I want to do it.
Right.
And I don't know, I just called it my own personal liberation. You know, to liberate myself from the advertisement world doing my thinking for me. You know, how far would it go? You know, I mean, the way I look at it is somebody could literally, kind of like an X-Files episode, put something out there, and you could go be programmed and to be prone to violence, which I do truly think actually happens with some people. I don't think they're born that way. I think they're just programmed to violence. You know, the video games they play and the movies they watch, all of the things, and it just sucks them deeper and deeper and deeper until they're just, you know, their mind is twisted and they've turned into a psychopath. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of
And
stuff
that
has
seems to
that.
be the ultimate goal, really, right? Like,
Yeah,
and then they can call you mental illness.
that's right. They could say you're mental and take over your life for you.
Yeah, it's like take you out, and call you mental illness.
Yeah, nice little control system. You know, it sounds pretty Nazi to me. Sounds like something some Nazi scientist thought up, which is probably not too far off the mark in reality. And this
Right?
is, you know, a lot of the stuff that we see is actually built on sciences that we took over from Nazi Germany. You know, moving all these people over to America and putting them in all of our agencies and learning what they had learned. I believe they brought over an infection of mind and soul or spirit or whatever it is from this, and it has infected our world. I think it started there in during World War II, and these people got into some strange things, and it just you see things with you know, former Soviet Union, some of the things they were doing, they literally picked up a lot of these strange mind controlling things and stuff like that from the German scientists that they brought over and made work for them after the war. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. You know, how far does it go? And those are the questions I ask myself: is how deep does this have to go?
I know it just seems to go like so like deep that you get stuck and you have to kind of lift your head out of it every once in a while and go, hey, I'm
Yes.
over here, I'm doing
Yep.
stuff, and I exist and I'm a person, and you are too, so let's communicate and stuff, and
Yep.
like come out of unplug every once in a while and get away from your computer and get away from your phone and get away from your like watch and get away from your like TV and radio and like go out into nature and like go in a cave, like go down deep, see what the real earth is, where it really comes from,
My
with
favorite.
nothing associated with like civilization, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just like complete nature.
That's what I would do. I would go on what I'd call my own personal survival trip. I'd go with a friend or I'd go by myself. When I was living in Chicago, I would go down to Shawnee National Forest in the southern part of Illinois, and I would take all my survival gear, uh, you know, get everything packed up, and I'd go spend a week just living off of the land and pitching a tent, catching fish. I would not take, well, I would take something just in case for communication, but I would leave it off. Um, if I had an emergency or something like that, it usually was a sat phone, so I could call if I had an emergency. But that was about it. I wouldn't take a radio or anything like that. I would just be on my own and just by myself. And it's an amazing experience when you can just be able to just find your own and your own path spiritually. It's a very spiritual experience if you go out and get unplugged, like you said, basically unplugged from everything and just go out and just chill out, free your mind. And I think that a lot of people don't realize how much technology has actually imprisoned us in a way, and keep us kind of like in this hive mind mentality.
It's like, they like try to control us from every direction.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
every time we think that we have our own like individuality, they kind of go stamp that out in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, whether
hey, welcome, Tony. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as we have GMOs controlling what we eat. We've got our media and our little electronic gadgets that we carry around with us. We've got advertising on radio, and like you said, it's coming at you at every direction and hitting you. Just a system of control. And I guess it was, 10 years ago when I started really thinking, what would it be like not having this all the time? That's when I started taking the survival trips and just going out and getting away from it all and unplugging. And it was a very spiritual experience to get away from it. And once you get unplugged and you start doing it more often, it's very freeing. And then it allowed me to be able to see some of the things other people weren't able to understand because they were still plugged in.
Right.
So what do we have? Tony coming in?
Yep.
You there, Tony?
You there?
Yep.
Yeah, you got audio?
Yeah.
Kinda.
All right. Let me turn some of the stuff off there.
This is what we were talking about. Sorry, I found it a little funny. No offense. We're talking about unplugging.
Where did it go?
Yeah, that's quite weird.
Alright. You still there?
Yeah.
Alright.
So welcome in, man.
Thank you. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. We were talking about babies or children, like having their children talk and somebody recording it and then backmasking it and doing kind of like a whole thing on it, and then it kind of like evolves from there. and now we're talking about like unplugging from like the internet, like like for times to yourself, just kind of getting out into nature and actually, getting away from everything for a moment. You know what I mean? Like so you can kind of get back to yourself, get back to your individuality.
Yeah, I do. I live real close to the New River Gorge and the New River Gorge Bridge here in West Virginia. It's only about 7-10 miles away, and it's got a little nature walk. You can go down under the bridge and look around and all that kind of stuff. And I like to take my cam down there and just shoot some video, and plus get away from everything for a little while. I just been waiting for it to warm up a little bit so that I could unplug, man. There's so much stuff going on, so many different people talking about so many different things, and some of them are talking about stuff that I've already, I've already been through or already been over it and all that. And some people have new information that gives me pause to reconsider my position and their position and all that, kind of thing. So I'm really here in West Virginia. It's been kind of cold, and uh, and I'm just waiting for it to warm up just a little bit more so I can get out, and do some things without the internet.
Hey, what's up, Rose? Welcome.
Hey, hello. How's it going?
Hey, Rose.
Hey guys, I gotta step out for a minute. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, we were talking about unplugging. We kind of had another morphing conversation. Started in one area and ended up in another area. And talking about the control of the world that has the control over us through media and different facets of life, and just unplugging from it. And kind of how for me, I was talking about how I really don't watch TV. Especially I watch something, I cut all commercials out. I do not have a cable box. I do everything off the PC, so I can filter things and do it. I can do whatever I want with it. And I was talking. I think I was I was talking about how I was able to start seeing things I hadn't seen before when I started unplugging myself and kind of freeing myself and limiting myself to the things that I put into my head, or being more conscious of what I'm putting into my head.
For sure.
So that was
What made you not want to watch TV anymore? Was there something that triggered that you go, wow, I'm not going to watch TV anymore?
it got boring.
Yeah.
And it's a major control a device they used against us. Or one of the major control devices.
Yep. I started hearing in my head. It did literally it's like this. When I'd hear radio advertisements or commercials on TV, it was almost like a little voice in the back of my head that somewhere in my subconscious created for me. That said, it was just like every time an advertisement come on, all I'd hear was buy our shit, buy our shit, buy our shit, and it really got annoying after a while. And the more and more I unplugged, I realized I need to take more control of my reality. And that's led me down my path of trying to figure out where I am at now, where I believe that I myself believe that I create my own reality. And I'm not too happy if somebody else wants to do that for me. I'd rather have the freedom of choice and not have other people do it for me.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been listening to this guy named Nasser Harriman. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got him on my lists somewhere.
Yeah, he is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, it's developing. It's my personal self. I have no idea how this is done. It's a new path, a new thing I'm figuring out how to do. Like you said, when you're waking up and not hearing these advertisements and disconnecting from the situation, it's a whole lot better.
Oh yeah, that's why I like getting on these types of situations. Where we have choice of what we're going to talk about. We can talk about things instead of just drool on our shoes and stare at a TV for 6 hours. And I started I was a very big gamer for a long time, and after I started beginning my process of waking up or unplugging or however you want to call it, started realizing the content of some of these things I was putting in my head was not exactly what I wanted. It was changing my perception, and I was a lot more violent due to the things I was putting in my head. I was watching a lot of dark things, and video games with murder and killing, and the more and more I pulled away from that, the more and more I started finding myself and my own spiritual path. And I really haven't looked back, and I'm reaching for this for myself, and hoping that I can have other people in my life that are walking the same lines, because it's nice to have a real conversation with somebody. It's nice to not have to, just use, texting, and things like that. We can use the technology, but use it to where it's beneficial for us.
Exactly.
And instead of beneficial for the grocery store that wants to sell me their shit.
Have you seen that? It's about 4.5 hours or so of Master Harriman, where it's a computation where somebody has compiled different parts of his videos and kind of put it all together, and it's really interesting. I've been listening. It's so long, I have to listen to it in segments.
Yeah, they did. It was in segments, I believe. It was little shorts of like
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And they collected all of them, and it really just kind of leads in one into another, and just when they put it all together, it's like a 4.5 hour video. But yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and he gets down to that point where he's saying we are actually light. The part I was listening to last night, he's saying these ancient masters from long ago that have said, we are light, and I kind of, from the way he comes off with it, and I'm not even close to being even a mathematician or anything like that, but the way he explains it, for the layman, it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some very interesting ideas. I will have to say that I agree with a lot of what's put out there, and some of it I've decided to just kind of let that one go and apply. I find that when I look at stuff objectively, I pick out the things that are good for me, and the things that I don't think that I want, I leave them off to the side. But I never leave any bad comments, because I don't want to interfere with somebody's freedom of choice.
For sure.
I think it really, this right now, at this point in everyone's life on this planet, and where our freedom of choice is being attacked, and I don't want to be part of that system trying to take people's freedom of choice away.
For sure.
So yeah, I've looked at a lot of that stuff from that gentleman, and many other things. I spend a lot of time just researching. It seems like that's what I do. Working, I'm listening to something. I've got the Quran. I've got different versions of the Bible, the Tao, or Tao Te Ching, if you will, and different things. I have them, and I can listen to them and hear them, and I can pick things apart. And I'm just trying to piece things together. And I think that's what we were meant to do. We're meant to go through this life, try to figure out how to better ourselves, and try to find the best source from for the betterment, and all of those things. And for me, I've discovered in a way that we're a lot more spiritual than I think people are letting on. We're not being told everything.
Oh, that's for sure, and that's what we are finding out, that we're not only this flesh and blood body is just it's just a vessel for our soul or conscience, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
And that part of us that's really alive is from the Creator, from the universe, from God, whatever you choose to call it, and that's really exciting, man. Trying to find it out, find finally something that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I found that I've been working on something for the past 2 years or so. Is that the power of the tongue, of speech, of communication, sound coming out of my mouth,
Oh yeah.
have a great effect on the negative or the positive. And I can literally change my world in front of me, everything. I make my own world by the thing. It really comes from the things that I say. So I've been becoming more careful of mindful of things that I speak on, and try to speak positively. And in some instances, I will say peace in like 17 different languages. If I'm in a really stressful situation, and I will say I'm speaking peace into this. I believe that every individual has more control than what the system that we live in really wants us to know. And we can make up our own reality as we go through life, and we all kind of interact with each other, making our own realities. And with I call, some people call it the MK Ultra, with the TV, and however you want to look at it, some entity, something out there, we could call it the NWO, the Illuminati, whatever it is, seemingly has a lot of people kind of herded mentally into kind of a hive mentality. Let's go this direction, and let's not look back. Let's go dive into it without, let's jump first without looking, kind of thing. And everybody seems to think that's a great idea. And, with like CERN, you got a couple people like Tyson and Hawkins, two big scientists going, whoa, let's back off. I think these two cats have figured this out. They're realizing that something is dragging humanity in a let's leap before we look situation, and it's getting scary.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, you can see it around you in people's eyes, and especially their actions.
Yeah. Yep. I almost anymore I can just sense if somebody is got good intentions or bad intentions. Just being around them for a moment's time. Some people I'm just like, I don't want to be around you. You've got some negative energy flying everywhere, and you don't care where it goes. You don't have control over it. It is just wildly unchecked emotions flying everywhere in anger.
Yeah.
And I have to pull away from it because
it's controlling them. Yeah.
I honestly, I'm a person, and I guess I don't judge anybody else on how they look at it, but I believe in prayer, and it works. I mean, I will pray for people. Mm-hmm. And because I do think that there's a spiritual element to things, and I find that it works. It helps me. It helps me be calm, and I can see that when I'm speaking things into existence, that it actually does make a difference. It's very cool, and I'm just going to keep working on it because I know there's something more to this. I've done a lot of research looking into the esoteric and secret societies and what all of these people are talking about and what they believe and why they believe it and why is it so secret? Why can't they share it with me? And there's something very strange happening. We could take a left turn. I could go into another direction, say like MTV. For instance, all of the MTV productions, all the videos, right, are actually being shot and filmed and green screened. All the stuff that happens in a Masonic lodge in New York.
Oh.
That's right. Masons are seemingly behind a lot of things. No offense to Masons, but it's very interesting to me to see these esoteric secret societies and their interaction, how they've kind of just been there, but they've almost cast a spell on people to make themselves almost invisible.
Their fingerprints are all over everything, from the buildings to the money, to the paper and stuff. Everything they're into, man.
Yep. And I've got to ask myself, is this just normal, or is this leading my life and other people's lives into a direction that if I'm thinking clearly, not wanting to go in that direction? If I got people that have a belief system that they have to hide from the world, and you have to go through some rigorous program to reach some degree or level to get information from each level, but yet they want to kind of push me mentally and physically and everything, and make my reality theirs, but they won't tell me what they want my reality to be. That scares me a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Exactly.
You
And
know,
finding them out is scary too.
yeah. Oh, you remember, yeah, you've got woods and trees and stuff around you. When you were a kid, you remember going out and drinking some beer,
Oh,
coming
yeah.
across a bridge over the river, and getting stupid and deciding to jump off the bridge in the middle of the night into the pitch black, hope you hit water?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like. I'm just jumping into a big giant blackness, and I don't know what's underneath there. And that's why kind of how I feel that my life and other people's lives are kind of being pushed to do this, but nobody's going to tell me or even bother to shine a light on where I'm jumping.
Yeah, or why, the reason why and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. But it's been going on from what I understand now, from my casual research, is that this has been going on for thousands of years.
Exactly. It stems from a lot of people kind of take it all the way back to ancient Egypt, and then other people take it even further back to before Egypt, or with Phoenicians.
With the Emerald Tablets, have you gotten into those yet?
Oh yeah, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting stuff.
Yeah, that's like 36,000 years ago.
Yeah.
I guess the best number they can come up with, and the gentleman that I kind of listened to about that is he kind of says that the New Testament may be the source for the New Testament of the Bible.
Mm.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really weird, That may have been the first Jesus, the Thoth.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on for a second. I got to do something here.
Yeah. You still there, Rose?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. You got any ideas on all that?
Well, what you're saying is pretty much what I researched too, so I disagree with you. That's why I'm not saying anything.
There you go. It seems to be in the same track.
Yeah. Because it pretty much leads you, when you're waking up, you take different steps. You start opening doors to different levels of the bullshit onion.
Exactly. Yeah. They've wrapped up a piece of shit with a nice bow and a nice package, but when I open it up, not exactly what I'm thinking I want.
Right. Absolutely.
Amazing.
But they want you to be, a safe person. It means, be happy in your job, be happy with your new car, be happy with making money and keeping your house, and concentrating on those type of things instead of what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Who's pulling the strings in the back? Who's the puppet master? And I'm a curious person by nature. I'm kind of like my cats. I want to know.
Right.
Yeah.
I pray every day to know the truth in all, So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The truth is out there, and what I figured is that no matter how somebody or a bunch of people want to try to cover truth up with lies, truth always will work its way through the cracks.
Right.
It'll find its way through, and they cannot bury the truth because they've been tried for thousands of years to bury truth, and it has not yet been buried. It will always break to the surface again. And the thing I find I have to be most careful for are the false truths that people are trying to sell me. And I have to very seriously and spiritually take into consideration everything and look at them objectively and ask myself, is this leading into another system of control, or is this leading into freedom?
Oh my God, yes. But the more you wake up, the more you can see clearly your discernment gets stronger and stronger. So you could
Yes.
backtrack real quick. And be like, wait, no, this ain't right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because they repackage it in different forms.
Yep.
So you have the New Age movement, you have the yoga. That's a religion, and that's pushed all over the place. You can go to a yoga class. They don't even know they're practicing a religion.
Exactly.
A whole bunch of different things they do, and it's scary. And Satan is a big deceiver. So
That's kind of my take on it. But I don't have, there's people that have a polytheistic point of view, and they're trying, people are trying to figure things out, and they're seeing that there's something seriously wrong with the world, and
with the world.
there's for me, even my father, my father has always been a very logical, clear-minded person. I trust his opinion, but I don't know what it is, but I think we all probably have somebody in our lives that it's similar, maybe, but he tells me I'm nuts when I tell him they are spraying stuff from planes in the sky. He says I'm absolutely out of my mind. They would never do that. They would tell us. They would.
Sure.
There is pilots that came out and said. I mean, there's even a pilot that actually did the spraying, and he's risked his life by coming out and doing emails and saying, we are doing this, and a lot of people that are doing it don't have family, so they don't really care, and they're just like tanks. They're mentally like a tank, and they can care less if they're spraying everybody.
Yep.
But some people do have a conscience, and that's one of that guy obviously has a conscience that he was able to come out and say it.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody actually became a human being for a minute and thought that this isn't a good idea.
Like you said, the truth, you can't hide the truth. It's going to be revealed.
Exactly. I mean, doesn't matter. You could have half the population of the earth completely devoid of any emotional response in the caring department.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back.
All right. The other half is going to say, wait, this is the conflict. It is actually the conflict between good and evil. When it comes down to it, it can be put that simply, good and evil. And we live in a world where some people want to say evil is good and good is evil. I can't ever say it any more clear than that.
Well, that's the Luciferian way, right?
Yeah, I mean, it turned everything upside down. But even people in other areas of belief systems are starting to wake up to this and go, wait, what's happening here? Like I introduced you to Thomas Sheridan. He's pulled back and said, whoa, what's going on? There's some serious problems with this world. It's not a happy-go-lucky, we're all, woohoo, everything's fine. We're circling the drain. And a lot of people are sitting there just going around and around, going towards the drain hole, not realizing that this is happening. And then there's people like us swimming backwards going, let's get the hell out of here. I need a different perspective.
You also have service to self or service to others, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have the selfie. A lot of people feel entitlement nowadays, like, I don't know, it's pretty fucked up right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I see it even in my work, where, it is no problem to throw somebody under the bus to work your way up the ladder. And I can't do that. I'm not built that way. I'm not going to throw somebody under the bus just for some financial gain. I'm sorry. It's not me.
But also on little mundane areas, too. You could be walking across a crosswalk, and some guy's going to zoom in front of you and practically hit you.
Yeah. Or
you're
hit you.
Or you're at the shopping center, and you're walking down with your cart, and they're coming full force at you, like, move,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't have consideration at all.
Yeah. You're on my road. Exactly.
Or like obstacles sometimes, like when you're in a hurry or you're like, trying to get somewhere and you have a goal. There's like all these things like get in your way. like when you're like heading that direction.
Yeah. Well,
You
yeah.
know how I found for myself, I slowed myself down considerably when I stopped observing dates and times. I stopped caring about that stuff. Time really doesn't mean anything to me. If I'm late, I'm late. I just
Yeah.
appropriate my time. I just show up to work an hour early, and I just chill out, or I can start work early. And I take my time. I'm not going to rush anywhere. I absolutely detest being rushed anymore these days. I do not want to be in a rush. And it
Agreed
seems
with you
like
there.
a lot of people are just so busy being in a rush that they'll run somebody over and just keep
Yeah.
going because they're busy to get to the office.
I've had it
Nobody has
happen multiple
patience
times.
these days.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I watched a video. I posted it up on my Google Plus page. I found a little gem, as I call it. The first shot of the video, I believe it was in South America. It was on a freeway around one of the large cities. I don't know what city it was, but a dog ran out into the freeway and got hit, but it was still alive. Another dog that was with that dog risked its life to go out there and literally dragged the hurt dog back. It's all on camera. Drugged the dog off the road and saved its life. Then they showed another clip in Asia somewhere. It was a CCTV street cam. A 2-year-old girl got run over by a van, and the van stopped for a second and then kept going and ran her over with the back tires and left. And people just walked around the body for hours. Didn't even pick up the girl. And then one woman picked up the girl and threw the body like it was trash off to the side to get it out of her way.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And these things happen quite a bit. When I was living in New York, I saw people getting hit all the time. And it was incredible. And people have no remorse, no conscience about this. They do not care.
That's what I'm saying. They're drones. It's scary.
Yeah.
And then when you unplug yourself from the matrix, it's like our time, whatever time is, slows down.
Yeah.
So we're more conscious of everybody and more aware of other people and consideration, where other people are fucking in that matrix system, fucking. Oh wow, it's crazy, just like you said.
It's a scary world, and that's why I try to take my time. I try to mind my own words. I try to mind my own actions. I think before I think. I think on my thoughts. I try to collect myself and control my own thoughts, because all of my thoughts are going to be action at one point or another. And what I put into my head will come back out in action some way. It all kind of flows. And when I start putting good in me and removing what I'm considering to be bad, I find that I can go through the day with a smile on my face. I'm happy. I've had people at work ask me, "What the hell are you so happy about?" "Oh, would you like to know? Got an hour?"
You need more than an hour.
Yeah. But, it's just, I've got to the point where in the break room at work, I've thrown, even just gone so far as just to, kind of like a mediocre, what I call the watchman, like Alex Jones or something. I throw like, little flyers out on the table. Check this dude out. Stop watching Fox and CNN, because you're not getting the whole picture.
Hey, Matty D, welcome.
Hey, what's up, man? I just saw this. I wasn't even planning to be on Google, but I just happened to go on there and I saw this pop up. So I was like, let me check it out. See what's going on.
Awesome. Great to have you.
How you doing, bro? Hey, Rose. How you doing?
Hi, Maddie.
I don't know who the other guy is.
Haplo?
Haplo? Yeah. I never seen you before, but bro, good to meet you, man. How you doing?
Good to meet you. Yeah, we're just having a wide scope. I guess it's turned into a consciousness discussion.
Consciousness. All right.
Yeah,
So I'm about to get consciousness with myself right now. I'm rolling right now. Are we broadcasting or is this private?
It's broadcast.
It's broadcasted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much on the open. The other guys do. I don't like to.
Depending on what state you're in.
I guess so. Most people don't care anymore, but to me, still, not legal is not legal. God forbid.
Yeah. Just another thing for the injustice system to hold over your head if they wanted to.
Yeah. That's what I tell people too when I invite them on my podcast. If they're going to do it, just please cameras off. But Drew doesn't seem to get the message too well. But I can't I love that guy.
Well, I'm sure Drew has a card in his where he's at.
You know, in the city, though, the city you really don't need it. I mean, you can get them, but the city now, like in New York, it's basically, dude, you get a ticket, man. You get a
That's
for like a few dollars. It's nothing.
When I was living in Queens, it was
But they're probably not getting the high THC or the high CBD stuff. They're probably not testing it. You know what I mean? I work at a dispensary, so I know.
You blow it across the table.
Yeah. Since I moved over to the West Coast, it's nothing walking around the city. You smell it everywhere. You see people just sitting out in the open.
Oh yeah, we do it here too. But I mean, it's really nobody cares anymore. But it's just the fact that you're not supposed to. I just like to keep it hush hush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cali, you went from. So did you go from like New York to Cali?
Yeah. Well, actually, to Chicago, then to Cali.
Oh man, I was gonna say if you're still in Chicago, I mean,
Well,
Chicago is like the craziest city to be in.
It really is. It's actually a country unto its own. It's a whole different world. You learn very quickly that you don't want to get on somebody's bad side if they're in law enforcement because you might be floating in a river.
Is it really that bad, bro? Is it really that
Yes, it is. It is. I mean, it is. And New York's got its own style. I call it a little more sophistication with a little more time. But
yeah, I think the New York cops are a little bit more cool. I've never really had to deal with them myself. New Jersey, though, it's like if you're a local guy, if you're in your town with the local cops, they're cool as hell to you. But as soon as you go to another town, they're gonna bust your balls. Excuse me, but I mean that's what they do. I mean they will all the way.
Yep. Exactly. It's just differences.
The cops here in Sacramento are pretty cool.
Oh, you're out there.
Outside of Sacramento, like not so much. You know, it just depends on where you're at. Like in Roseville, it's not cool, and in Orangeville, it's not cool. You know, like in certain regional areas, like in the woods. You know, like up in Forest Hill and stuff. It's rampant, but it's not cool. You know what I mean? Like the cops aren't. There's not very many there, so everybody knows everybody.
Exactly.
In the mountains.
A stranger sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's like you go where everybody knows your name, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what were you guys actually talking about before I came in here and made that topic? I don't want to keep you on that topic. I don't know what you guys were actually discussing.
I don't know. What it was like? What consciousness? I guess.
About slowing down time and being aware of people and how people are in such a big rush that they can care less whether you're dead on the street.
Yeah.
And,
so you're talking about it every day.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Just like how we're slaves to our society in a sense of time, because like if we didn't have to work, then we wouldn't have to be like focused on time, because usually our work like kind of keeps us on some sort of regiment. So you know what, I have to be at work at this time, you know what I mean? And you gotta basically time everything. I mean, I was talking to Haplo earlier saying I can't even play a video game nowadays. I love playing video games, and I can't even do that anymore.
Like, I don't know if you guys watch I see Rose share a lot of my stuff, but like a lot of my videos here on the East Coast, I'm putting them up at like 5:30 in the morning. I got to get up 3 in the morning just to be able to go do my gym routine that I can't do in the afternoon by the time I get home at this time. It's like 5:30 here right now. The gym is a zoo. I'll never get it done. I got dogs now. I got to take care of my dogs. My sister works from home, so I can't always just say, well, my sister's there. She can take care of them because they are my dogs. So, dude, I mean, by the time I'm ready to relax, it's like I'm ready to go to bed, It sucks, dude. It really sucks.
And I'm an artist, so I like to actually fit in art every once in a while, and a lot of times everything just gets in the way, and then I can't even get to my art.
You need that space outside of time to create.
So, you don't actually do art for work, though? You don't do like graphic designs or stuff like that?
I do various things. Like I made this graphic, for instance. I do like leather
I like
work.
the way you actually, if you made it yourself, dude, I like the way you made it all. Just you got like 2 cubes in there. You got your triangles, you got your hexagon, the Saturn ring, everything. I like the way you did that.
Actually created that design. I have it tattooed on me. It's it's the idea of a hypercube, and then like a piece kind of out of it. You know, like taking a piece out of it. Taking a piece out of the
Have you
hypercube.
heard
Has anybody ever actually seen it and asked you about it? Like if it was like because I saw a girl a couple weeks ago at the local pizza place. I don't usually eat that stuff on lunch, but I went there to get a salad and shit. But I go there and the girl had a tattoo of a triangle on her right ring finger, and I couldn't help ask her. I was like, I'm 37. She was like her young 20s. And I was like, I'm sorry, could I just what's on your finger there? Is this? She goes, I go, is there any reason you have a triangle? She goes, I just like triangles. I go, okay. You're not like into the New World Order or anything, right? She started laughing and turned red. She goes, no. I was like,
That would be influence, right?
That's what I like because she's young. So I said, honestly, how often do you get that? She said, all the time. So that to me tells me a lot of people know what these symbols actually are.
They're
Yeah,
hip
but a
to
lot
the
of times
jive.
the influence is to like, you know, for sex appeal. So like, she probably got that, so people would ask her, "Why'd you get that?"
You know what? That's a very valid point, bro. I actually
And where she put it too, like, you know,
it's right on her ring finger. Yeah, with the
exactly.
if you,
Which
I was like
which is
holding my
where you're
hand.
gonna look if you're gonna be into her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so if you were to grab my hand and like or her hand, like from you, like say you went to go kiss her hand, like hello, the triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle would be upright on that finger, not like it would be downward. So that's the way it was.
Interesting.
So for her, she's
Yeah,
looking
and you
down
know,
on.
the triangle, depending on if it's up or down, it's like masculine or feminine.
right?
Wow. I wonder what made her think about doing that.
I didn't even think
It's
about
Yeah,
that.
it's an interesting concept.
Being programmed with the symbols, it's all over the place. You see
That's
it
true.
on logos, the movies, music, on albums, on artwork. It's everywhere.
Oh, it's not now. Non-stop. Even the commercials, they're throwing it.
Yeah.
Commercial hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually making a collage right now, like on a canvas, and it's actually taken from magazine, like cutouts of magazines, strangely from like a lot of like cannabis ones, but there's a bunch of symbolism that I cut out, and I basically am putting it all together in like kind of this of my research, kind of blotted out there on it's very symmetrical, and it basically kind of visually represents MK Ultra program.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of what the symbols mean, then they're not going to affect you. You know, as long as you know.
No, that's not true. They affect you if you don't know what they mean. They don't affect you if you do.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
If you don't
yeah.
know what it means, if you don't know what it means, it's going to affect you. So that could be part of the programming. Why I like triangles. It doesn't even really know why. You know.
Yeah, exactly, and that's part of the influence.
She keeps seeing it in her Katy Perry freaking videos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
again with the leopard, right? Leopards everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. That's a kitten.
I've been trying to point it out to people, like especially when I see it on like little girls. It just disturbs me.
Yeah.
You know what I saw the other day? I saw a girl come in to a store I was shopping at with her mom, and her mom looked like hoe bag number 1, and then hoe bag in training was her daughter, and her daughter had a pair of tight little tights that were pink, and on the butt it said "Smash this."
Oh my god!
Oh my
I was
god,
like,
seriously?
who lets their? And this girl didn't look any more than like 12 or 13.
Wow.
I'm just going, oh my, we have really gone far, haven't we?
But that's the program going rampant on society.
And that kind of stuff just feeds the pedophiles.
Yes, and we wonder why we have a pedophile problem.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just like it's almost like they created that whole process so they can create that Dateline show.
I want to go back in time and strangle Walt Disney.
But to answer your question, Maddie, my symbol I put there because I realized after the fact, after I did the research on Saturn, that it's very Saturn oriented. So I thought it'd be a perfect one for my program because I'm very into like kind of symbolically telling the truthers out there, the ones that are aware of it, the ones that have done the research, they'll know that I did my research.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually I'm not all up into the Saturn stuff. Like I've done some of it. I got the gist of it. I know the symbols, and I just keep seeing them all over the place. But I don't want to get too deep into it. Like why?
I don't want to get sucked in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I try to have Impressed with that Earth let me know a bit about it. It's like to me, what makes me strike is like this. It's like if there is that hexagon storm on there and all that shit. How did they know this all the way back then where they were worshiping it, like at the time of Saturnalia before Christmas was ever done?
That is a very valid question.
That is the question. That is the question.
Well,
That's what
10,000
feeds
years
us.
ago.
I think
Yeah,
they're
that's what
being
feeds us.
Yep.
the beings that came from Saturn came here on Earth, and that's how they knew.
Well,
I
if you
heard
believe
a,
in stuff too. Yeah,
Well,
I'm just
I can tell you my interpretation on a couple of different stories coming together to create a deeper understanding of what you're asking right now.
All right, can you hold on to that, dude? Because I'm going to mute you guys. I'm going to go outside.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to
Go
go
for
outside for a few minutes. I'll be right back. You guys talk about something else. Save that for me. I want to hear that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I did hear a very interesting CERN-Saturn connection that's a PhD physicist put together. He
Talking
He-
about
trying to open up basically like Jacob's ladder or whatever it is, trying to open up a portal to Saturn to bring what a lot of people think are trapped beings back to Earth. Like Saturn's probably their prison.
That would be what that movie Interstellar portrayed, kind of.
Yeah.
But the trapped beings would have been fifth dimensional,
Right.
and from the future.
So yeah, that's made that cool connection.
I heard about some scientists. They said when they first did CERN that 3 Nephilim came through.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I did a little bit of research and found that it was originally named Kronos. They took it from a German. They took it from a German original Hadron Collider, and they took pieces of it, and it's like on the new Hadron Collider, it's like pieces of the old Hadron Collider. I mean, think of this in the idea of time travel, and then going back to the Bell, because Truth Media Revolution did a lot of research on this Bell connection.
There's a what do they call
the Glock?
Actually, there's a book. It's like a side book to the Bible called Jasher, I think it is. I think it's the one it's out of. That actually describes what the Tower of Babel looked like. And in that description, it gives you measurements. It looks like CERN. It's got a big tower in the middle, and it had about 50 kilometers of a circle of something around it. And then it had like a big giant thing in the front of it. So maybe this isn't our first rodeo.
Check this out. Think about this for a second. If you take into account the Bell from the past that disappeared, because we don't have it on record after it has a housing and everything, but nobody knows where it ended up. In the 80s, a Bell-like structure fell from the sky and landed in Rendlesham Forest. And that got taken by the government. So the government now has that thing, and that thing could technically be a time machine, right? Now they take the information from the time machine from the past, and they actually connect it from, as far as the pieces, probably, think about back engineering or reverse engineering, taking those pieces and then connecting those with CERN. Building on top of that, basically I think that's what the original CERN building, the idea of CERN being there in the first place, was probably because of that in the 80s, that thing, they wanted to examine it more deeply, so then they created that place as a kind of a front to examine that, and then built around that, and that's why it's an underground frickin' society.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Because that's what they did also in the Thule Society, did the same thing underneath.
Exactly.
So it's
Go
ahead.
We've also got the Kecksburg crash that had a bell-looking thing that fell from the sky, and the government.
Oh no, that's what I was talking about. I'm sorry, I said Rendlesham. It was the Kecksburg, mixing things up.
Yeah, it's all right.
You're right.
I was I knew it was close, but I was wondering if you meant Kecksburg.
No,
That's
thanks
cool.
for clearing that up. You know, we want the right information out here.
But yeah, it was December 9th, 1965. Something crashed into the forest of Kecksburg, and I believe that's Pennsylvania. And there was weird writing
something
on
else
it.
happened in the 80s then.
But
yeah, that's what I was talking about. So then you can take that if that was a time machine, by the laws of what Einstein had as physics as far as time travel is concerned, you can only go back as far as the time machine's created.
Yeah,
Right? So you can go back to the
go.
Nazi time if that was the case. They
I went
could
to go see
use
the.
CERN in the future once they
Yeah.
figure out time travel and go all the way back to the Nazi time.
Exactly. I saw the place where they had the bell attached, where they were doing testing. It's like the little stone circles. I got family in Germany. I was born in Germany.
Mhm.
And it's not that far off. It's only like 60 kilometers, 60 clicks or so away. And we went over there and we're checking some stuff out, bunkers and old bunkers and stuff like that. And saw, and there's some, it's really weird. I get a really weird feeling being there. It's a strange spiritual feeling. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like there's something strange with there. It's like almost like time space was messed up there or something. Because my cousins were always saying, yeah, when we get drunk here, we see shit. Yeah, he says when we get drunk here, man, we see shit all the time. Like, I'm sure you guys aren't just alcoholics.
I know, right?
But yeah, it's very.
It's only when they're drunk, though, right?
Well, I don't know. They're just passing around some fun, so I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they've seen
there's
some
always
stuff.
truth to these little stories people tell. I mean, if you get down to the heart of it, it's not like you just made it up.
Yeah,
There's like a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the word CERN is in the Demon Dictionary, and it's spelled CERNE. Yeah.
That wouldn't
That's
surprise
interesting.
me.
It's also short for Cernanos or Kernanos, the horned one of the forest.
But it isn't.
Yeah, fertilizer god of the pagans. I'm a pagan, so I understand that.
They like to use multiple names for the same thing, but
Yeah. Why does it always have to be horned things that want to tell me what to do with my life?
It has to be a representation of codes usually and when we try to break them down, we can see all the combinations, the code combinations, because the number systems always match. The same theologies always come together. It's always about Saturn in some form.
Well, I've noticed like with Moloch, the god Moloch that was worshipped by the ancient Canaanites and a couple other people.
Yeah, owl and bull.
It was a bull. The bull, if you actually look at it, looks like the female reproductive system inside. If you would take
Also,
the female
Baal is a
Baal.
bull.
Yep. But you know what Baal actually is?
That's supposedly the son of Kronos.
But the word Baal, it actually just means Lord.
But not the same Kronos, a different Kronos.
Yeah, but it could be the same Kronos. You never know.
It's spelled differently.
Yeah.
I read a lot of Freemasons. They say that when they pray to Baal, that's where they get the child molesting coming in.
Yeah, that was
Have
actually
you ever
one of
seen that movie, Conspiracy? The Conspiracy? It basically was all about the idea of a bull-headed conspiracy. I mean, not conspiracy, like the Illuminati type of people, like a cult that was all associated with a bull.
Yeah. I think that
and it kind of had a fraternity feel, you know, like the Skull and Bones.
It's like it's a piece. I think it's a piece of the puzzle. I don't think it's the whole story. I think that
they put
it
owl, out there.
The bull,
it's out there, you know, for us to see. It's just it's almost like they taunt us with it.
Exactly. Well, I think that there's absolutely spiritual laws that fall into play that work with the physical world. That whatever it is, they have to tell you before they do it.
They do. And it's also because when the shit goes down, they can say, "Well, we told them."
Exactly. Hey,
yeah, but they don't have to tell. But they don't have any rules on how they can tell you.
Exactly. They're not putting it in your the News Gazette or whatever.
Might be Simpsons, might be Family Guy, but at least they told you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it has to be. It can be in a fiction. It can be in a book. It can be in
Yeah.
like a logo,
Well,
like right in front of you.
there's an American Dad episode that has a cutaway that's clearly not even part of the storyline of the show, where it shows a witch. Well, I guess it kind of ties in a little bit, but it shows a witch on a broomstick and then crashes into a building, one of the two towers, and then it says it was witches and something about everyone should know, and you're just kind of like, what
You know
the
what?
hell?
I watched that. I mean, I didn't mean to. I mean, it was just like in front of me, basically. I was trying to do other things, but that beaver, what do you call it? Roast, right? And it was on last night, or I think it was on last night. Well, I watched it. It was on in front of me last night, and it was remarkable to me that some of the comedians were talking about 9/11. They were
Yeah.
bringing up 9/11, and they were bringing up like. They brought up like the Ferguson thing. I mean, they were bringing up all
Which
the
comedian?
things associated with these cops. Huh?
Sorry, I'm sorry, bro. What comedians were there? I just came back. I basically heard you guys. I was by the
Oh,
door. I hear most of everything.
a new guy from one of the new guys from Saturday Night Live was one that mentioned it. He said his dad was one of the people that died, and then made a joke about it right afterwards.
That's nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, real good. All right, dude, take me. I'm sorry to take you back.
And then
but,
they circled back around and came back to it to mention that again. It's like someone played off of his joke afterwards. You know?
Wow.
well, if you watched it on
Um,
TV, I'm sure it's online. Definitely find it. I gotta check it out. I don't know. I hate Justin Bieber, so I didn't even want to watch him roast him.
I know that's where I was at. You know, I really, you know,
I'd rather if they actually.
yeah, they did a pretty good job at roasting him, I would say. It was entertaining. Strangely, Martha Stewart was actually one of the people on the dais. That was very strange.
They
It
had
was
Martha
a lot of,
Stewart.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
he landed, if you guys remember in the news, like about almost a year ago, last
and they
summer.
made a
After,
lot of jokes about her being in jail, obviously, or prison or whatever.
well, yeah, her too. But if you remember, like just like what was it, last summer? I think it was after he got busted in Florida for the drunk driving and all that. Then he got stopped with his airplane in New Jersey. Like that isn't even too far from here. He landed in Teterboro, and I can't believe our cops just let him go and all that stuff. Our state
Oh,
troopers,
and
'cause
speaking
he
of
had the whole
that, they did make a lot of plane references, which was weird because it was like I was thinking, was this in the same kind of time frame as that plane just went down?
No, because like, it was just last year.
Oh,
Because
and you know that the
they
third
had to bring
thing happened on the same day that plane went down, right?
Say it again.
The plane, you know, like that recent German plane situation. It was on the same day that the CERN play was going on.
No,
That's 3:15 on March 15th. That happened.
really.
Amazing.
It was
Amazing.
the end of the play, I believe, because the play went on for a certain amount of time.
Amazing.
But did you
It
see
was
the
like the
prediction?
last day the play was going, I believe, which is the 23rd. I mean, I'm sorry, 23rd.
Predictive programming, bro?
I don't remember. I don't remember when it happened. What?
Did you see all the predictive programming?
Yeah. What else is happening? What's going to happen next?
Oh yeah, it was the 23rd.
Yeah, I've been watching like several shows, you know, because like people watch them around me or with me or whatever, and what I've been noticing is that you know they're definitely pushing the Ebola agenda still, like a
Dude,
lot.
I just did a thing on that.
Especially on like the virus type of shows, like you know, Walking Dead or like Helix or even you know I found this really interesting, the 12 Monkeys, the new 12 Monkeys. It's about time travel, right? It's about stopping a virus, you know. They kind of show you little hints of it, and it seems to almost be like, you know, kind of reminding you about the Ebola. You know what I'm saying? So there's
Well, even when
definitely
you
and of course the green coding, like to the
it
extreme.
was all over the place. But The Walking
Oh,
Dead, I
my
think
Lord.
didn't the premiere come out exactly when the Ebola broke out here? Like came around?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's essentially, you know, when the news story broke out. It was already happening. It was just they didn't report on it until after that.
Yeah,
I
then I
think
think.
because they had to have the hype. They wanted the hype.
Well, they're bringing all the vaccines out, bro. I was just actually reporting on that last night, or I think it was last night I did a thing on it. You can just Google Ebola vaccine and you'll find it. You'll find it. They're all ready to go, trials and shit.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
good.
Yeah, I'll put those on my list. That's you know, I mean, I have people around me that are just kind of like, you know, I'm gonna do the vaccine because I'm part of that, you know, structure or whatever, and I'm just kind of like, okay, but you know, it's at your own risk. I'm
But you know, since you
don't
mentioned
credit me when you have
vaccines,
nanites in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on.
have you ever
And
noticed?
military officials?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, have you ever noticed people that actually get vaccines seem to be sick all the time?
Yeah, that's why I've never got them.
I've never been vaccinated in my whole entire life. I watched a whole bunch of people in my family. I watched people that I work with. I'll get these flu vaccines, and
that's what happened.
those
You
sons
get
of bitches were
that's what it's
freaking sick, puking everywhere. And I said, "Some vaccine. Seems that you get the vaccine, you're getting sick as hell. I don't have the vaccine, and damn, I'm pretty healthy."
Well, that's what it is. It's the vaccine gets you sick, and it's supposed. I mean, it's like that's what seems ridiculous to me in the first place. Why would you? If just don't go around people. You know, I mean, if you're not around people, you're not going to get sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, do the logical thing. Don't take something from the doctor because they're offering it to you, or excuse me, at the pharmacy. You know, because they're offering it to you for free.
Well,
or at McDonald's, you know, go to McDonald's in Texas and get a Happy Meal and get your vaccine also.
That's right. Well, you know,
measles.
why in the world do the doctors not offer Oxycontins like they do vaccines? You know, I'm pissed. Sheesh.
I never actually. Yo, I gotta go.
You know, we have to think there's another agenda behind it.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
I need to cut in.
Go ahead.
I gotta get going, bro. I gotta go feed my dogs and stuff. I'm gonna go take a shower. If you guys are still broadcasting within like another hour, I'll jump back in if you guys are here.
No, I'm probably gonna head out in another 10. I have to head to work. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Maddie. It was great talking to you.
No problem. Yo, dude, you gotta tell me the Saturn shit, bro. What do you? I don't know what time.
You're on the Think Outside the Hexagon group, right? Community?
No.
Okay, well, I'll connect you with that. I'll send you an invite.
All
But
right, cool.
that basically, I have everything, like everybody's been posting, and I posted, and you know, we have all our kind of Saturn stuff, like that's
Awesome, I like to hear verbal shit too.
and the CERN stuff connection, and the New World Order connection to Saturn, all that kind of stuff. The cults, the symbolism, it's all there.
All right, man. And I don't know if you're around Friday night, like 6 your time, bro, when I broadcast, bro. If you want to jump in and talk about it too, let me know. I'll send you a link.
Bye, Maddie.
Yeah, sounds good.
Talk to you later, bro. Have a good day.
All right. Nice to meet you, bro. Take it easy.
Could I get an invite to that Hexagon community?
I thought you were already in it.
I don't think so.
It's called Think Outside the Hexagon.
No, I don't think so. I have to check. I don't think so. Though.
Just go to my profile.
Okay.
On and on the right it'll say, you know, do you want to join these?
Okay.
The Think Outside the Hexagon will be right there.
All right.
It's an open thing. I mean, it's not like private.
Okay. Cool.
I've got an interesting philosophical debate that I like to propose to people. This one's fun. Would time exist if all of humanity didn't observe it?
Oh, that is an interesting process. I would think. I mean, my own personal opinion would be no, because the void creates the time, so you have to actually, and the observer has to measure it. There has to be an observer. So if you're not there, there's no measurement.
Yeah.
So therefore, there's time.
If you're not observing
there can't
it,
be time if you're not observing. There's no observer. There's no time.
There is
that's how I would see it.
Absolute 100% proof that if somebody is observing a human presence, is even in the same room, I think it's protons and in that department, and they're in colleges and laboratories, they have figured this out, that you do not get the same results because they will change, because there is an observing human being in the room. They literally have to leave, and they find that even if they put a camera on it, and there's somebody observing from a distance, that it reacts to that observing. So
Wow.
that when that comes
You're
into
talking
my
about the
mind,
two-slit theory?
yes. And
Yeah,
when that
yeah.
comes
I mean,
into my
experiment.
mind,
It's not really a theory. It's been proven because you can do it.
exactly. If people in the whole entire world completely forgot about time, I don't think time would exist.
Yeah, I think that's the key, actually. The key probably to, well, there's two keys. One is we need to get these people to feel, and the second is we need to stop focus on time.
Yep. Like I said
Because
before,
my understanding of the cult is they don't have an understanding of emotions or feeling, and I kind of understand that because I don't either, but I'm not with them, so I'm like, don't see it from their perspective really. I only see it from my own, but I'm trying to say from a observer perspective, right? If you don't have emotion, then you're not going to react.
yeah. I mean,
you cannot have emotion but still have empathy, and that's
exactly.
what they lack. It's the empathy.
Well,
They
that's what
lack
I'm saying.
the-
They don't have that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lack both. They lack emotion and empathy.
Yep.
Right. That's
Because
different.
like they don't react. They don't react to anything. They only cause actions. There's
Yep.
no reaction.
They're like the satanic version
They
of a
actually
Vulcan.
they actually try to get us to react. We're the form of reaction from the consciousness perspective.
Yeah, I
So
think it's their
like
form of
they
entertainment.
do the action, yeah, exactly, and then we do the reaction. They watch us like kind of interplay doing the things, and then they give us the solution they already had set up.
Yeah, it's
That
well,
was before they even decided to do the
I
action.
think it's like rats in a maze.
It's also like on a
Right,
mass
and-
that we can play out their magic for them through our consciousness. So that's why they do the
Yeah,
rituals,
agreed, Rose. You got it.
Yep.
the Grammy, the Super Bowl, and millions of people are watching this, and we're taking part in their magic, and we can make that
Mhm.
play out.
And they can use that, and they can harness that energy that's transmitted through that type of experience. And then how many
Yep.
people also watching online and watching on like live on TVs or paying for those programs
Well,
and things
and
like
this
So
this is where my
mass.
idea of us creating our own reality comes into play. If somebody is controlling our thoughts and projecting something into us, and we're creating a reality they want us to see,
Right.
which would be considered a spell, we're creating
Right.
the reality they want.
Right. Absolutely. 100% on the nail right there. That's it. That's what we're doing. And the more people that wake up, the less people that are creating their reality, and that's what scares the shit out of them.
That's right. Why do you think that they attack anybody that's outside of their created reality, their little matrix world that they've created for us?
All right, and
Okay,
if we
that's
were
all the time we have for today,
Okay.
guys. I want you to take a couple seconds to finish your final thoughts, starting with Rose. Go.
No, that was kind of fun.
You were already on one, so I figured you could just continue.
No, I forgot. Well, I just believe that the more people, that's why they dumb us down with the chemicals, the GMOs, because we're not sheeple, we're not stupid, we're more powerful than them, and that's why they harness our energy. So the more people that wake up and remove themselves from this matrix, the more they're gonna run, and their shit's gonna crumble. That's what I believe.
Okay, awesome.
There you go.
Pablo? Okay. We lost him. There you go. Go ahead. Pablo? I think he lost his mic or something. Okay, well, I'll do my final thought, and then maybe he'll come in after. Are
Okay.
you still there, Pablo? No. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming on, and it's great to talk. Oh, he probably is coming back on. Okay, are you back?
Yeah, I was about ready to say my thought. Last
Okay.
thought.
Go ahead and
is-
do your thought.
basically, let's wake up. Let's get enough people. Why don't we try some forgiveness, some love, and some peace, and sharing. And why don't we get some more people out here to kind of step outside of the box for a while and see how they like it.
Exactly. That's a good final thought. And yeah, agreed with both of you. Thank you for having. I mean, I'm thanking you. How to say this? Thanks for having you guys. No, that's not right. Thanks for coming on. That's it. Thanks for coming on, guys. It's great to have you. And yeah, it was a good conversation. We should get into it some more next time. For anyone out there that wants to join the Think Outside the Hexagon community group, you're more than welcome to. Just come on to the channel. I mean, not channel. The profile, and it'll be on the right. Just push join, and then you can post anything that's associated with Saturn, New World Order, and the like, the cults, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, basically, we just need to get people aware, awake, see what's going on around us, realize that, you know, you're not really experiencing what you think you're experiencing because of huge psyops that are going on. And, you know, we need to come on more often and talk it out through these places so we can communicate with people all over the world. And it's my belief that the more of us realize what's going on, the more of us will stop it for ourselves, because in my perspective, it seems that they are just not aware, the cults. They're so full into their program and their programming of what they want to continue to the process of the New World Order in the future. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, generation to generation, they program their children, and then those children we deal with. So those people, we need to somehow get to feel, get emotion, get empathy. And one of those things is an idea to present to you guys is somehow stopping the cremation of care ceremony.
Yeah.
Because in my perspective, it seems that is how they stop feeling. That's how they stop having. I mean, the big ones, all the cult members that are the huge ones, they pay a lot of money to go there. So you have to be up in the elites in order to get there, and those are the ones I'm talking about.
Yep.
Those are the ones associated with the Moloch and all that. So we need to get those people to realize that we're human beings and we don't deserve to be treated that way.
Yeah.
And you know, the tables are turned. If tables were turned, would they do that to, you know, to themselves?
Right.
So that's my final thought. Thank you guys. And
All right.
I'm gonna put on the music.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good day.
All right. Talk to you
too.
later.
No problem.
God bless.
Later.
Later.
And remember, do your research.